We'll be beginning in a second, so I'm just going to invite everyone to please settle down before we begin. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation. O le a mamalu pea ia tapu a whanua ma ele sa iulu o matautua e a whiwhio ai a losina ma le whai whale o sa le vālasi. Susu ai usua lii ma le ainga sa mali e toa a la la ta i le whale tolu ma le whaina lepa matui sa mau. Ai tu launa ia le whala le se e le a whiwhio ta ita i o malo le tau pulenga. Tu launa le papalenga e le a whiwhio minista o ka peneta o malo le tau pulenga. Tu launa le whatulenga e i le paia lasi o malo mai whafo. Whaapea le loa o sa moa wa poto, a wā a ingo tupu, a ingo a ingo nofo, a ingo papa, ma a inga na ta whaiwha, tu launa ia, tu launa lava. Ua whaamalo le pale, whaamalo le folau. O lea ua whaana e lupe le la e lo tātou taea ua tau tupu, ma lo tātou taea ua tau whale upolu. I le tala mai o a au le paia lea ua sasao nei. O lele ua matala le sui ngā ula nai le vasa. Ua sasala le tui papai a le tau sala. Ua momosi foi le tinu masala le mānaia. O lea ua o tātou tepa i ula, tango i ula. Ma ua titi ula lea so ona o le tō whālofa a lo tātou tapa au sili le langi. The heads of governments of the Commonwealth of Nations, the Prime Minister of the Government of Tuvalu and your good lady, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Government of the Independent State of Samoa, members of Cabinet and members of Parliament of the Commonwealth of Nations, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, heads and representatives of international and regional organizations, heads and representatives of government ministries and departments, heads and representatives of academia, heads and representatives of civil society and community organizations, distinguished delegations from our Commonwealth family, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to welcome you to the Commonwealth Women's Forum 2024. Ta alofa lava. I extend to you all warm Pacific greetings and a very good morning. The hosting of the Commonwealth Women's Forum is a significant component of the discussions to be held prior to the convening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting later this week. This platform presents us with an opportunity to have a conversation about the critical issues relating to the advancement of gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls across the Commonwealth of Nations, and how we can elevate collective action for a resilient Commonwealth and therefore solidarity for gender equality. In my Samoan welcome remarks, I used a few indigenous references about the ula, which is Samoan for garland. I was hoping that we'd all be wearing a ula this morning, but thank you to Otole Ava, who's wearing a beautiful garland and ula this morning. Garland in Samoa and across the Pacific is a symbol of respect, it's a symbol of love, and it's a symbol of unity. As one wears an ula or garland, it's also symbolic of one's pride of their identity, their cultural heritage, who they are and where they're from. And despite the challenges that we face, wearing an ula or garland is a symbol of celebration. It's a symbol of our resilience. And across the Pacific, it's our women who have sustained this form of art and culture within our Pacific Commonwealth of Nations. In the context of the Commonwealth Women's Forum, it's a symbol of collective action for resilience and for our solidarity for gender equality. Before I introduce our esteemed guests for their remarks, we have a few housekeeping announcements. Firstly, please switch all of your mobile phones to silent mode. Secondly, in case of an emergency, please follow the exit signs on the doors. And our last housekeeping announcement is we encourage all of you, participants and your delegations, to share the updates on the Commonwealth Women's Forum using the hashtag CWF and hashtag CHOGM 2024. Those are our housekeeping announcements. Thank you all for your kind attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the opening and welcoming remarks from our esteemed guests. It is my privilege to introduce our first esteemed guest, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, Secretary-General of the Commonwealth. Patricia Scotland was born in the Commonwealth of Dominica. She is the 10th of 12 children and grew up in London. She completed her Bachelor of Laws with honours at the London University at the age of 20 and was called to the bar at Middle Temple at the age of 21. Her career has been marked by achieving a number of extraordinary firsts, not least of which was to be the first woman in the more than 700-year history of the office to serve as Her Majesty's Attorney General for England and Wales and for Northern Ireland. While holding these and other senior ministerial office, she was given responsibility inter alia for gender equality, domestic violence, forced marriage, and international child abduction, and from these positions, promoted diversity and equality of opportunity, particularly for women and girls. As the only woman to have been appointed Secretary General of the Commonwealth, she's placing special emphasis on mobilizing the 56 nations of the Commonwealth to tackle climate change, including its disproportionate impact on women, and through women's enterprise to build the resilience of smaller or more vulnerable countries. Eliminating domestic violence and violence against women and girls is another area of focus. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the Secretary General of the Commonwealth for her opening remarks. Right Honourable Patricia Scotland.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Commonwealth friends and colleagues, Talofa. Oh, you're there. It's so wonderful. It is really a great pleasure that I welcome you today in the heart of the blue Pacific continent, here in Apia, for the 4th Commonwealth Women's Forum under the theme Collective Action for a Resilient Commonwealth, Solidarity for Gender Equality. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the government and the great people of Samoa for the warmth which we certainly felt this morning in the front line, the warmth with which you have welcomed us to your breathtaking, beautiful home. I think none of us could fail but to be moved by the beauty not only of the scenery, but of the people, the singing, and the children. I think that really went right to the heart of all of us. And I really want to thank everyone, absolutely every one of you, who've made the effort to travel to Apia for this historic week. The Commonwealth Women's Forum is the highlight of the CHOGM week. And don't tell anyone I said that. Because it really brings together a vast array of voices spanning government, civil society, youth, entrepreneurs, and women's advocacy organizations, all of which are vital to the growth and development of our Commonwealth. And it resonates with me so deeply, not only as the first woman to hold the office of Secretary General, but as someone who has been with you on this fight for equality and justice for my whole life. The theme of this forum, Collective Action for a Resilient Commonwealth, Solidarity for Gender Equality, captures our shared vision for a more equitable world. It underscores the importance of unity and collaboration in tackling the complex and interconnected challenges which hinder the cause of gender equality. And there could be no more fitting host for the Women's Forum than Samoa. Given the significant strides this great nation has made towards gender equality. In fact, I remember in 2016 when I first became Secretary General, it was to Samoa I came for the Women Ministers meeting. And I still remember dancing around the pool at the end with all the women who were celebrating this wonderful achievement. And Samoa's remarkable progress in recent years is epitomized by the Honourable Prime Minister, Fiame Naomi Matafa, who is not only Samoa's first female Prime Minister, but the first woman to lead a Pacific Island member of the Commonwealth. And I have to tell you, I felt great pride and joy that I was able to sit next to her this morning as she started the journey. Because a day like this reminds us that women are the core of progress in our Commonwealth, be it the scientists in New Delhi who got the first to the southern part of the moon, the educators in Kingston, or the business owners in Kampala. Women from all backgrounds, races, creeds, embody the Commonwealth's diversity, our resilience, and our determination. But we are also at a time when we know that the significant hurdles still exist despite the innumerable successes that we have had. And in too many of our societies, gender-based violence persists. In some cases, it continues to rise. Income inequity, structural discrimination, and restriction of women from leadership opportunities are still a plague in our world. These problems are all interlinked. And if we are to overcome these obstacles, we must acknowledge that gender equality is as much a route to development and prosperity as it is a question of rights and justice. We know that when women are fully included in decision-making processes, societies are more peaceful, robust, inventive, and stable. Through our comprehensive range of programs which support women's leadership, entrepreneurship, political engagement, and digital inclusion, the Commonwealth has achieved tremendous progress towards gender equality. You all know that when I took office in 2016, I pledged that we would put the wealth back into Commonwealth, but also we would put the common back into wealth. And gender inclusiveness is central to that mission. And I am so proud of what we have achieved together during my tenure as your Secretary General. Our progress encapsulates the spirit of our Commonwealth connection, our Commonwealth cooperation, as well as our collective efforts to transform the future for the girls and women across the 56 member countries, 60% of whom are under the age of 30. And I was delighted this morning when we heard the voices of our women, the voices of our girls, but in harmony with the sweet sound that came from the men who supported them and who were their allies. Because that harmony of voices is the harmony that we in our Commonwealth have created together. And the fight to prevent and ultimately end violence against women and girls remains fundamental to our mission, which is why we launched the Commonwealth Says No More initiative in partnership with the No More Foundation, which now has chapters in almost every Commonwealth country. And I hope, as we go forward, there will be no country who is not part of this push to end the violence. And we are putting women at the heart of our climate programme through gender-responsive climate action, and we are enhancing digital inclusion in the Commonwealth, improving the digital skills and access for women and girls across our family of nations. This Women's Forum will consider the vast opportunities presented by technological advancement as well as its risks. But I am clear that our future success lies in our ability to understand, master, and harness the digital revolution and ensure its benefits can be shared equally by everyone, everywhere. This morning, as we were waiting to come in, we were talking about what we now have developed together as a Commonwealth in terms of data analytics. Later, we will publish the report for each of our countries, which will do the analysis of that data. What we've done in relation to delivering the Sustainable Development Goals, what we've done in relation to creating a digital infrastructure, what we've done to support AI, and what we need to do in order to deliver the green economy. That is the start, but in all of it, women and girls have to be there, because if they're not, we will not succeed. So the voices of women and girls must shine through. For these pressing issues, it is clear to me that the quality of leadership and the clarity of purpose to drive us to truly lasting solutions is what matters the most. That is why I'm delighted that the forum will open with discussion on the need for more women in leadership, from Parliament to boardrooms to public office and every sphere of life. There are so many exemplars of strong and visionary leadership across our Commonwealth. And if you want to know what women's leadership, women's power, women's ingenuity looks like, I want you just to look at your own tables. Just look at each other. That's what it looks like. And guess what? Some of it looks like male. So we can do this, we can do it together, we have the power, we have the ingenuity, we have the strength. But we only have that strength if we understand we have to do it in partnership. That's where our strength lies. So I am deeply grateful that Their Excellencies, the Prime Ministers of Samoa and Tuvalu, will be with us here at this forum. And I'm so delighted to see my sister, the erstwhile Foreign Minister of Tonga, because that's what leadership looks like too. And it's beautiful. Because I think when our leaders come to share their insights on the transformative role of women's leadership in sustainable and equitable development, we will have the diamonds we need to build a better future. And I'm confident that these discussions will be fruitful to enable us to reaffirm our commitment to collective action and solidarity for gender equality. So to all our speakers and moderators and delegates, I say a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for standing with us and walking with us on the Commonwealth throughout this journey. And I always think when I come to these sessions of what my mother told me. So I'm saying this to every single woman, and she told me this when I was less than 10. She said, "Darling, we don't let men do anything else on their own. So why do we let them run the world?" They need our help. But the important thing is we can do this together with our men. We can support them. We can love them just as much as we expect them to support and love us. It's what we do together that makes the magic. It's not leaving anyone behind. And that means all of us, not some of us. And as I wish you well in this forum, I invite you to recommit to our goal, achieving a world where gender equality is not just an aspiration, but a reality for all. We can do this. We will do this. We must do this. And I want you to remember all the things that in 2016 people told us was impossible. And what did the Women Forum say in 2016? They said, on our own, we may be invisible, but together we are invincible. That's what we said in 2016. We have proven that that is the truth, but it is only going to be true if we hold hands, we hold fast, and we fight for it. And I want to thank each of you who've been on this journey with us, fighting for it. So just in case you haven't remembered it, I'm going to say it again. On our own we are... I can't hear you. But together we are... I think you better have that. I'm going to give you one last. Together we are invincible. So God bless you. May he make his face to shine upon you. And may your guardian angels walk beside you. And may God keep you safe in the very palm of his hand. Because we are going to do this. God bless.
Thank you, Madam Secretary General, for your opening remarks. I think you have certainly set the tone for the next 2 days towards transforming the future for women and girls in our Commonwealth of Nations, where we leave no one behind and where together we are invincible in our journey to advance gender equality. Thank you for your leadership and for the inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our next esteemed guest, who is our very own Honourable Ana Rosa Alemoli'o'o, Minister for Women, Community and Social Development, Government of the Independent State of Samoa. Honourable Mulipola Ana Rosa Alemoli'o'o has served as a Minister of Cabinet since 2021. She studied commerce at the National University of Samoa and worked in legal and community development roles before entering politics. Mulipola has been a prominent advocate for women's rights and gender equality in Samoa. As Minister for Women, Community and Social Development, her leadership focuses on strengthening community structures, improving social services, and promoting policies that empower women and girls, including programs to combat violence against women and support economic independence. Mulipola also works on poverty alleviation and sustainable development, aiming to improve living conditions for vulnerable communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our esteemed guests, Honourable Mulipola Ana Rosa Alemoli'o'o. Lauafionga Minister.
Talofa and hot and warm and cool greetings to you all. This morning has tested how resilient are we as Commonwealth Ainga. Secretary General, Honourable Prime Minister of Tuvalu and your good lady, our Deputy Prime Minister of Samoa, Cabinet Ministers, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, esteemed delegates. It is my deep honor to welcome you to the Commonwealth Women's Forum 2024. Today, we are not just gathered in this room. We are standing at the forefront of history as the voices of our children and staff, through the song, "Let Them Dream, Let Them Fly," reminds us of what we are truly here for. Their song embodies the essence of our mission: to create a world where every child, every woman, and every youth can soar to their greatest potential. We are not just here to talk. We are here to take action, to build a future where dreams can become a reality. Our beautiful Samoa is proud to host Chatham 2024, and we are committed to turning these dreams into concrete change. Our government's decision to allocate 20% of district development funds toward gender equality is a bold promise, one that ensures our women and girls have the support they need to thrive. Just recently, our cabinet endorsed the Samoa Youth Advisory Board, solidifying our commitment to ensuring the voices of our youth are not only heard, but lead the way in shaping their future. As we listen to the voices of our children, singing of dreams and flight, let it be a reminder that we are here to ensure those dreams have wings. This forum is not just a place for discussion. It is a call to action. Together, we hold the power to drive meaningful, lasting change across the Commonwealth and the world. I also invite you to explore the resilient spirit, Portraits of Samoa's Women Warriors exhibition. These portraits are a tribute to the strength
and resilience of Samoan women, a reminder of the courage it takes to dream and to rise. Let their stories inspire you as we move together, as we move forward together. This is our moment. This is our time. Let us carry the spirit of let them dream, let them fly into every conversation, every action, and every decision we make here. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we will build a future where every woman, every girl, and every child can dream and fly. Whawhetai te lava, and may we soar together to create the change the world needs. The future is waiting for us. Let's rise and soar. Whawhetai.
Thank you, Honourable Minister Mulipola, for your opening remarks. We just want to congratulate you and your ministry for your foresight and leadership in convening the Commonwealth Women's Forum, and more specifically in leading our efforts on the ground to ensure collective actions for a resilient Samoa and therefore a resilient Commonwealth. So thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to now introduce our final esteemed guest speaker, the Honourable Miles LaRoda, Minister for Social Services, Information and Broadcasting from the Bahamas. Miles Kenworth LaRoda, born on October 16, 1964 in New Providence, the Bahamas, spent his early years with his grandparents in Crooked Island. He attended various schools in the Bahamas before starting his career as a cook at Resorts International. I believe it's now called the Atlantis. He later transitioned to the casino industry, where he rose to the position of casino table game spit manager. Seeking a career change, Miles pursued higher education, earning an associate's degree in law and criminal justice from the College of the Bahamas in 2003, followed by a Bachelor of Laws with honors from the University of Buckingham in 2005, and a postgraduate diploma from the Inns of Court School of Law in 2006. He was called to the bar in both England and Wales and the Bahamas in 2006. Miles practiced law from 2006 to 2021 before entering politics. He was elected as a Member of Parliament for Pinewood from Pinewood constituency in 2021 and appointed Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister. In 2024, he became the Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. Miles is married. He's a father and a grandfather with interests in sports, cooking and traveling. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Honourable Minister Miles LaRoda.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I stand on the established protocols, but like to single out Madam Secretary General, Madam Ali Molio, Minister of Women, Community and Social Development for Samoa, the First Lady of the Bahamas, Miss Anne-Marie Davis in absentia, she'll be here later today, Commonwealth, ministerial colleagues, delegates, members of the Commonwealth organizations, women's civil society organizations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I bring you greetings on behalf of the government and the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, where the Governor General is a woman, the Speaker of the House is a woman, the President of the Senate is a woman, the Minister of Education is a woman, the Minister of Energy and Transport is a woman, the Minister for the Public Service is a woman, the Minister of Grand Bahama is a woman. You get my drift. It is a pleasure to be here in Samoa to address the 4th Commonwealth Women's Forum in my capacity as chair of the 13th Commonwealth WAM and the Bahamas Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. I extend my sincere thanks to the government of people of Samoa for the warm hospitality and service extended to me and my delegation. As a fellow small island development state, SIDS, the Bahamas is appreciative to be here in the Blue Pacific on such an auspicious occasion. I look forward to insightful, innovative, invigorating exchanges over the next 2 days and to achieving significant outcomes for women throughout the Commonwealth from our discussions. I commend the Commonwealth Secretariat for the theme of the panels, Gender and Climate Change, Ending Violence Against Women and Girls, Data, Digital Technology and Accountability, and Women's Economic Empowerment. I take this opportunity to make some brief comments on the themes in the context of the Bahamas. Distinguished delegates, gender and climate change is a priority to the Bahamas due to the magnitude of the impact of climate change on various sectors of our society. If you doubted it before, by now you should have come to the realization that climate change is indeed real. You need only look at what has transpired recently over the past month in the United States as Hurricanes Helene and Milton swept across Florida on its southern tip. For the Bahamas, a Category 5 hurricane, as was the case in Hurricane Dorian in 2019, could have never been fathomed in our country's history. What you could never, ever imagine was something that you could never, ever prepare for. Dorian wiped out communities and displaced thousands of Bahamians. More than 70 persons were confirmed dead in the aftermath. Loss of the Bahamian economy amounted to some $3.4 billion. It has been 5 years since, and we are still suffering from the effects of Dorian. From a gender perspective, according to the United Nations, 4 in 5 people displaced by climate change globally are women. Many of the persons displaced by Dorian were women and girls who were housed in shelters across the Bahamas. Their vulnerability placed them at an increased risk of gender-based violence. I am, however, pleased to report that international agencies joined various entities of governments, NGOs, and civil society to develop protocols to mitigate these risks, thereby keeping our women and girls safe. I take this opportunity again to express our gratitude to our international and local partners who provided training, care packages, and assistance for the proper management of shelters. We are also thankful to the Commonwealth for its unwavering support. For the Bahamas, the experience of Hurricane Dorian underscores the urgent need for gender-responsive climate action that would invest more in women and girls as transformative agents of climate change. This was highlighted by ministers at 13 WAM last year, and it deserved the same attention at this forum. On the issue of ending violence against women and girls, distinguished delegates, in August of 2023, the government of the Bahamas enacted legislation for the protection and support of victims of violence, the Protection Against Violence Act. The Act provides for the establishment of a Protection Against Violence Commission, whose aim is to strengthen collaboration among various stakeholders, including civil society, in combating and responding to violence. My ministry has worked with government agencies and organizations like the Bahamas Crisis Center and the Zonda Club to create and implement community-based training and education programs to raise awareness and to address the root causes of violence. We believe that collaboration makes a significant difference as we move together with concerted effort to address these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the Bahamas recognizes that digital technology can help to deliver social benefits for all its citizens and persons within its borders. Currently, we are several years into the implementation of digital government project, My Gateway, launched in 2021 to address productivity challenges and reduce the time and cost required to conduct government transactions. My Gateway improves outcomes for women who are often burdened with care work by enabling them to avail themselves of time-saving measures online instead of commuting from many locations. We all know that time is money, and for women, time is also precious. Through my Department of Gender and Family Affairs, we promote and advocate for programs that address gender stereotyping and work bias. The 2010 census on the Bahamas indicated that males outnumber females in technology jobs by a ratio of 69% to 31%. While women lead in accessing services online, we are cognizant that many underprivileged households in the country is headed by women. We intend to bridge this gap, bridge this inequity by promoting STEM programs and training in our schools and communities. Distinguished delegates, women's economic empowerment is vitally important to building resilient, healthy, and sustainable communities. It increases opportunities for women to enhance their access to financial resources. In the Commonwealth, for every 100 men engaged in the labor market, 77 women are participating in the workforce. We need to get more women into the workforce because when more women work, economies grow. The government of the Bahamas is committed to enhancing the economic empowerment for women through successful entrepreneurship. The Bahamas Development Bank, which was instituted to help Bahamians attain ownership in their economy, is focusing on sustainable financing and has integrated a robust, proactive approach to gender equity. Gender measuring tools to score and assess application forms are used to effectively plan and implement gender mainstreaming policies in all aspects of the bank's operation. In 2021, the bank, through the United States Embassy sponsorship, launched an Academy of Women Entrepreneurs microloan program, providing loans of up to $15,000 for women who have graduated. Through the bank's initiatives, the Bahamas has mobilized $1.8 million in gender equitable financing to address inequalities and create opportunities for women entrepreneurs. I take this opportunity to commend the Commonwealth Secretariat for its partnership with the International Trade Center to deliver digital boot camps to enhance the skill of women-owned micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Distinguished delegates, I am ever mindful of the outcomes of 13 WAM, where ministers renewed their commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment in the Commonwealth. Ministers endorsed the approach set out in the roadmap in support of the Commonwealth Declaration on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment 2022 to 2030. While we may not fully attain our goals eradicating gender-based violence and ensuring equity for women and girls during our lifetime, we can certainly advance the cause and make tremendous progress. On behalf of the government of the Bahamas, I express my country's continued support for the Commonwealth Roadmap and for the Commonwealth Says No More campaign. As chair of 13 WAM, I shall work with the Commonwealth Secretariat over the next few months to produce a series of regional webinars to connect us all across each region of our great Commonwealth. These webinars will focus on priority areas in your regions as you identify them. Areas like gender-based violence, women's economic empowerment, climate change, and inclusion are priorities in my country, but I recognize that this may not be the same in other regions. I welcome the Secretariat's assistance in conducting an initial survey by region of specific areas to be discussed during the webinars. Once agreed upon, they can be launched hopefully as early as January 2025, with the inclusion of industry experts and civil society for a more comprehensive discourse. It is my hope that at the conclusion of the webinar series, there would be concrete actions by individual member states as agreed during 13 WAM. I remain open to discussions and hearing from you on how this proposal may be further refined to obtain maximum benefit for all women across the Commonwealth. Distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining us in beautiful Samoa, and I wish us all a fruitful deliberation during this Commonwealth Women's Forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister Laroda, for your remarks. Your reflections shared with us this morning provides the stories of impact and evidence that we need to advance our policy and programmatic interventions across the Commonwealth. Thank you for your leadership and advocacy for gender equality in the Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, that completes the first part of our opening plenary. Before we move to the second segment of the opening plenary, we will invite our Secretary General and Minister Laroda to please take your seats in the audience. I'm going to invite Lea Fionga Tuatangaloa, Joanne and Dale, Etiafio Mai Ilumane, to please join Minister Mulipola on the stage before we proceed to the launch of the Gender and Environment Survey for Samoa. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the launch of the Gender and Environment Survey. The 2023 Gender and Environment Survey is a comprehensive national household survey exploring the multidimensional relationship of women and men with the environment. Global evidence indicates that climate change and other environmental hazards, including disasters, affect women and men differently. This report is a crucial part of advancing gender equality as we capture the key issues and challenges relating to gender and the environment through this survey. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to call back Minister Mulipola to the podium for the launching of the Samoa Gender and Environment Survey. Honorable Minister.
Talofa again. Honorable B.M. Tuvalu, the Secretary General, Deputy Prime Minister of Samoa, Honorable Ministers, and foreign dignitaries. Le paia I le foe, ai mapu I le to'o, le paia o le mauta. Ai se o ti ua le matangi, ina ua fotu manu o le tai au. A wau wha aifo mai langi, e pei o le whetalainga I atanga loa langi. Tulo, tulo, tulo nalava. Talofa lava and heartfelt welcome. What a privilege it is to welcome you all to Samoa, where the warmth of our people and the power of our shared purpose bring us together. As we gather under the Commonwealth banner this week, we come as more than just nations. We come together as one ainga, a family woven from diverse lands, traditions, and experiences, united by a deep sense of purpose. In this spirit of unity, we celebrate the wisdom, resilience, and strength that each of us brings to this gathering. Together, let us honor the power of community, the richness of our cultures, and the responsibility we share to uplift one another and protect our beautiful, fragile planet. Today, we acknowledge the growing urgency of climate change, a crisis that impacts every aspect of our lives. Small island developing states like ours are particularly vulnerable, despite contributing little to this global challenge. In our Pacific region, nations such as Fiji, Kiribati, and Vanuatu, and Tuvalu are experiencing firsthand the catastrophic effects, intensifying cyclones, rising sea levels, and diminishing resources that endanger our livelihoods and heritage. The Gender and Environment Survey of Samoa 2023, which we launched today, provides critical insights into how these impacts are felt differently by women, men, and communities. As the first of its kind globally, this survey reveals that almost 93% of Samoan households are located in areas at high environmental risk. Yet, early warning systems remain limited, with only 55% of urban and 46% of rural residents receiving vital alerts for floods. These findings underline the urgent need for locally driven, gender-sensitive climate strategies. This report that you've seen here in our screen is more than data. It is a call to action. It challenges us as a Commonwealth ainga to protect our people and work together for a future where no one is left behind. Let us remember that while states bear the brunt of climate change, we are also leaders in climate solution, demonstrating resilience and innovation. This report equips us with the evidence to shape national strategies, inform global policies, and inspire action throughout our communities. As we gather, let us be guided by a shared commitment. The strength of our Commonwealth ainga lies not in our individual might, but in our collective resolve to protect, uplift, and sustain one another. I urge each of you to take this data, this knowledge, and use it to advocate, to educate, and to implement meaningful change. Together, we can build a resilient Commonwealth ainga, with Samoa standing as a testament to hope and the power of united action against injustice. On behalf of the Government of Samoa, I extend heartfelt gratitude to our partners, UN Women and the Australian Government for their support, as well as our government ministries, civil society, private sector, and all who contributed to this survey. We are profoundly grateful for your dedication to this critical work. To God be the glory. Soifua Maia Manuia.
Thank you, Minister Mulipola, and we want to extend our congratulations to your ministry and the governments of Samoa for this significant achievement, which I believe is only the second one for the Pacific and the 7th in the world. The very first gender and environment survey conducted for the Pacific region was completed in the Kingdom of Tonga in 2022, and this was launched at the UNFCCC Climate COP in Dubai last year, for those of you who were there and may remember. Ladies and gentlemen, the final item for our opening plenary is titled The Echoes of the Wave, Resilience Unveiled, which will be presented by Lea Fionga Tuatangaloa, Joe Annandale. High Chief Tuatangaloa Joe is a prominent leader in Samoa, recognized for his unwavering commitment to community development and resilience. He has transformed Botasi community lives and built resilience through spearheading the successful and sustainable seasonal employment of his districts in New Zealand and Australia over the past 10 years. He and his good lady, Tammy Mawala Annandale, are also passionate supporters of women empowerment and economic resilience through the Botasi Development Trust. Tangaloa's leadership and experiences serve as a poignant reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the vital role of community in overcoming challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, amidst emotional reflections after the tsunami in 2009, High Chief Tuatangaloa Joe Annandale shares a survival story, a testament to enduring resilience. Within this tapestry of strength, women's empowerment emerges as a vital thread, weaving hope and determination, courage and endurance, survival and resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, in collaboration with Onomea Productions, please welcome Lea Fionga Tuatangaloa, Joe Annandale, presenting The Echoes of the Wave, Resilience Unveiled. Fio Mayala wa Fionga Tuatangaloa.
Excuse me, I'm very nervous, especially to be standing here in amongst so many women. But truly, it's an honor. But may I first, as per our tradition here in Samoa, that we acknowledge the leaders who are here with us. And I'd like to pay my respects to the Honourable Prime Minister of Tuvalu and your good lady, the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister of Fionga Tuala, and of course, Honourable Ministers who are here present, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, diplomats and foreign dignitaries, and the Commonwealth representatives, ladies and gentlemen. I'm deeply honored to be invited to play a part in this opening plenary session of the Commonwealth Women's Forum. When I was asked to be here today, I obviously asked the question, and I still ask myself right now as I stand here, why me? Why me? Why a man in a woman's forum? But as I reflect, it's probably to do with the fact that I'm forever applauding the great work that women do as mothers, as caregivers, doctors, nurses, teachers, and of course, like the Bahamas, just about every department or ministry in the government of Samoa is headed by a woman. Just about every nurse that you see at the hospital is a woman. A huge majority of our teachers are women. Yes, they're about to take over the world. That's probably why there's so much violence. We are jealous as men. We've got to pull them down a bit, you know. And if you're filling out a form asking for any assistance, funding or whatever, one of the first requirements is, or that you have a much better chance of getting the help, is if there's some focus on women, gender equality. What are you doing? Does it help children in any way? And we have a woman as our Prime Minister, the first in the Pacific. What an honor. What an achievement. But you're right. We've heard about unity and the importance of us working together. And I know, and probably one of the reasons why I'm here and a lot of men are here, is that women need us. We have a role to play. But the thing is, us men need women more. And I'd like to also, while I was sitting there listening about this gender equality and that, it's fashionable to be a woman. It's good. I know this because there's many of us men want to be women. There's so many now that have their hair long, wear earrings, even wear makeup, lipstick, long nails, painted. Of course, I could never be a woman. I've been trying to grow my hair for ages. But yes, we have a third gender. And they're very prominent. And they're very dear to us. There's a third gender. And they play a very important part in Samoa. They're the artistic ones. They're the ones with flair. They sing. Wow. So let's not forget the third gender. They should be part of our united effort to develop our islands. But unity is important. And today was, this morning down at the opening ceremony, that was a very moving ceremony for me and for many of us islanders. You see the ngawalofa, the voyaging canoes or canoes of that type. And then you remember our ancestors. The reason why we're here today is because of them, the sacrifices that they made, pushing out into the oceans to find land. Then they found this place and the rest of the islands in the Pacific. Wow. We talk about sacrifice. That's apart from the ultimate sacrifice that our Jesus endured. Or didn't endure, he was crucified. But the sacrifice of our ancestors, we stand here today because of them. And we pay tribute to them. as well. And the ceremony this morning just brought all those memories back, all those thoughts and ideas, as to why this gathering is so, so important. And the message, the Tangawalofa, the double-hulled canoe, the arrival. Yes, to me, that took my mind right back in time. But the title that this session has been given, of course, is Echoes of the Wave, Resilience Unveiled. It resonates well with an old Samoan saying that e moe manua le fati, ai ala mai mala e atiae. Meaning, we go to sleep in the peace of night, but then disaster strikes that triggers positive change. You may ask, echoes of what wave or what waves? May I suggest the 2009 tsunami as one of those waves? The onslaught of NCDs is another. COVID-19, another. And of course, climate change. To only mention a few of the many challenges that we face in these hard times. What echoes? May I also suggest the important messages and the lessons that these calamities relay to us. Are we heeding or listening to those messages, is the question. What resilience? The natural strength and character of our people, especially women, to silently deal with hardships in all of these challenging situations. Hence, the birth of the Pautasi Development Trust, to help ignite the fighting spirit of not giving up, lest the 9 lives that the tsunami took from our village be in vain. The short video that is about to be shown speaks to only a few of the projects that the Pautasi Development Trust started as part of the unveiling process. Listening to those echoes of those calamities that face us today. Of course, I only have a limited time, and the video is very short. Those not shown include our driving school, our daycare center, our computer digital academy, and aged care training centers being established, our music and sewing school now operating. And you know what? They are all run by women. Give them a hand. But before the video starts, I want to draw your attention to a little clip at the end, towards the end of the video. It's on the Greater Good Diaper Project, an amazing initiative embraced by my village. Its powerful message is converting what is currently a major environmental problem. With Pampers, would you believe? Close to 30% of our landfill are plastic Pampers. For children, and I'm not shy for adults as well to say that, But this project is introduced a pampa that is compostable. And the amazing thing about it, and we've embraced this in our village, the amazing thing is that in 3 to 4 months, in these compost heaps that they break down, and it's been confirmed that the quality of the soil from these compost bins is amazing. And of course, this is going to help the development of agriculture, the planting of vegetables and all that that's going to sustain our community and provide an opportunity for the selling of this soil to sustain this wonderful project. So at this point, I've already overstepped my mark. I get the signal from the ladies here. They're saying this. So I'll stop here. Please watch the video. It's very short. It's only about an hour long. But thank you for listening. But more importantly, thank you for inviting me. Thank you. That's the tsunami and the voices screaming for help. And then the dawn, the sun comes up. The dawning of a new day. New opportunities. Our seasonal work program. That's the team. You don't see a man, do you? It's all women. And it's all organic. We sell to hotels and restaurants. Some of our mamas teaching the young ones how to weave. It's so important that we pass the skills down to the next generation. The Pampa Project, the GG. I wonder who's playing that ukulele and singing.
Together and decided together how to do the work here and to design the project here.
Thank you very much.
Whaftaitele lau whionga, tuatangaloa, for sharing your story of the tsunami and your reflections on your projects for community development, which clearly demonstrates the determination and the resolve of our women, even in the face of our climate challenges. E moni ai upole tunu watafia falea lilifua. Part 2 of Tuatangaloa's presentation included a cultural performance by the Onome Productions, which I have been told will be set up for all of you to enjoy during the morning tea break. But can we have another round of applause for Le Whionga Tuatangaloa, as well as our esteemed guests? That concludes this first segment of our opening plenary. The final bit is the official photograph, which we will take. It will take place in the front of the venue on the steps. And in a minute, we'll make our way to the steps outside to get organized for the photograph. But the way we will do this, I'm going to invite our VIP and our esteemed guests to remain in the room. We'll get the teams and the staff to organize everyone outside, and once you're ready, we will bring our esteemed guests to join the photograph. Following the photograph, we will have a refreshment break, and as I said before, you will have entertainment, so don't miss the refreshment break, otherwise you will regret it. Thank you again for your kind attention, ladies and gentlemen. Soifua Maiamanwia. So we're going to seek your indulgence to please make your quick way through the doors behind you onto the steps in front of the venue so that we can organize our photograph accordingly. Thank you very much for your cooperation, ladies and gentlemen.
fetilo fa isolo wale tau ai lona loto awe uso e sauia le vai no le au te tau mawhaina mapumai le paolo le fa amalu le ua e laina ia fa amali e ina o se mea ua o mawaina fa alango lango mai ilo utau au ate mapuai lango na le fia ai se fulu sene fa alabai a o se atofanu e fa alabai o se papa mafu amu ia la salo wa malo lo na masalo salo se ia lo fa mai